Hi everyone. So I finished my training, my monthly matcha, and it was just a refresher on the e-speakers platform that we have available with John Maxwell. I'm not using it right now because, again, everything costs money, and this year I won't be able to join the Maxwell conference even online because I don't have a job. So I was hoping that this year I would be able to go to Florida, but because Mr. Maxwell is also getting on in years, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make a trip to come out to Toronto. I have been asking, but I don't know whether he will. It would be nice if he came to downtown Toronto because there's a lot of us here in Canada that can't go out to the conference, and so we'll be missing it. I'll be missing the online one as well because I've got other expenses that I need to meet first. I'm hoping that I get a job and that I can make some plans of my own. I'd like to go to Graceland. I'd like to be able to go to the IMC conference. They are important for us as speakers because they give us opportunities to learn from the more accomplished speakers, the ones who are already earning their money, getting speaking engagements, and traveling around the world to help political leaders, to help in schools, to help at colleges. Many people are already doing it. For me, this is new. I've only been involved for the last 6 years, so I don't expect it to happen overnight, but I'm doing all the right things. I'm uploading my reflections and my talks to social media. I'm putting things in print, so I'm using all the right avenues that are available, which we are encouraged to do. I'm not at that point where I'm sending out blasts through emails, daily messages that you can send out through Facebook, through Twitter. I'm still doing those on my own until I can afford the platforms where I can do that myself, or where I can do it for a company or a non-profit. Ideally, I'd like to be with a Christian organization. And I do apply to John Maxwell as well. They have openings that come up. So I apply to them as well, not just to the Catholic Church. I apply to all Christian organizations. So let's see. It was a good refresher and I enjoyed it, especially since I haven't been using Outlook and all that for the last 6 years. I just use my basic Google platforms. So it's nice to have that refresher because some of the skills you can use when you go into your career, when you go into the workplace. And so I liked it. It's also nice because I can do it from home. I don't have to book an office space and go into an office space like I tried to do when I was setting up my retreats. I wanted to set up small groups, and the prices to book an office or to book a room are astronomical. So, because if you're doing it in the church, you have to do it with the support of the priest. And our priests already have their own initiatives. So, hopefully something opens up where I can use my skills. But so far, it hasn't worked because the ones, like when I contacted places downtown, the amounts they were charging, like even for a small room, it's unaffordable if you're an individual. So I didn't take that up. And that's also why I'm putting my music out there, because then people can see how I play. I used to play at Regis College when I was a student for the Mass. And I used to play sometimes we used to have small gatherings for the priests. I used to play for those and sing for the retired priests. But all of those things have changed, so I have to see where the next opportunity is going to come from. And I think that ties in well with the gospel for this weekend. It's on the scripture of Martha and Mary and how we can use our gifts as women in different ways. But when we have those opportunities, like some people think that, this role is only for women and this role is only for men. But in the Gospels, we find that women and men do the same things. And they write about the men more. So maybe the men were doing something unusual. Because when something's normal, people don't talk about it that much. And today in the gospel, we have the gospel of Martha and Mary, and they both serving the Lord in different ways. They both using their gifts of hospitality in different ways. And the Lord is saying that Mary's chosen the better part, which is to sit with the Lord and to listen to him, to listen to what he's saying, not to be distracted by everything that's going on. And I think that's why when we do our Ignatian spirituality, when we do our retreats in daily life, or when we go off for silent retreats, whether it's a one-day retreat or a 30-day retreat or whatever it is, we dedicate that time to just be with the Lord, to listen to the scriptures, to listen to what he's saying to us. And I don't think that Jesus was reprimanding her. I think he was just encouraging her to forget about the distractions and to come and sit with him and to listen to what he was saying. So it's a beautiful scripture, and again, it's about hospitality and the importance of hospitality. I'm sure there were men who were also involved in hospitality, in cooking and baking and all that kind of thing. And many of our professions started out only being for men, especially being chefs. It was only something the men did. But later on, women also came into that, and women get excluded from a lot of things. But I think I've been fortunate with the Jesuits in Canada in that, especially when I was a student, they didn't leave me out of things. And Wilma was a big part of that, our Dean of Students. She always made sure that I was included. She always made sure I was treated with respect. And sometimes I even felt like, Wilma, don't do this. Because when we used to go, like for our Holy Communion and things, she used to make everybody wait. And she used to make me go first. She always made me feel a little special. So I miss Wilma. I miss Father Kalachik. He's at the Vatican now. And I miss some of the people that I used to see on a daily basis. So those are just my thoughts on the gift of hospitality and the scriptures and being hospitable towards the Lord, making that time for the Lord to sit with him. Because I'm sure he appreciates our cooking and baking and everything else that we do. But I think he wants us to have that special time with him, just to sit with him and make that time with him, to reflect on the scriptures, and through that to welcome his presence into our life. And you won't get my reflection from the bishops and the cardinals and all of them. They have their own ways. Well, I have my own ways. And my ways have been very much welcomed by the professors who graded my papers and who helped me to graduate. I think if they thought I was incompetent and off the rails and delusional, they would not have let me graduate. So I'm not just talking off the top of my head. And I do miss Father Kalachik. I miss Michael Kalachik very much. But who knows, maybe one day we'll have a time where they'll all come back to Regis College and I'll be able to work with them again.